Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode, and today we are looking at technology stocks because it looks like the bubble on tech stocks may have burst. So if that sounds good, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe because I think you're going to get a lot of information out of this one. So first things first, looking at an overall index, when we go to the Nasdaq we can see this thing has dropped quite massively over the 1 month, but let's go even further into depth and look at the 1 day chart, and we can see we are down massively from a price point of around 12.4 all the way down to 11.5, so almost a 1,000 point drop. And you can see this the spike of this candle, the wick is actually much lower than that further down, which is very bad for this index. And this is basically made up of a lot of technology stocks, so this gives an overall view into what the technology market is doing. And so far this week we are down 4.9%. So we can see here this is quite big, 4.09%, sorry, and this is just on the Nasdaq. So if we look here, it has actually recovered a tiny bit today, but let's just think about reasons why this might be dropping. So if we look at some of our favourite technology stocks, we've got Tesla at the top, which is actually positive of plus 0.67 today so far, around 0.7%. But if we look to other stocks like Apple, if I can find it on here, Apple is down another 2%. Now I've got a video coming out in a bit where Apple is low, but we can see here technology stocks are low at the minute. Now, in my opinion, for technology, Apple and Tesla have been leading the move on the quote-unquote bubble, if you will. Now, I'm not going to call it a bubble, but if you do want to know whether this is a bubble or not, basically, I'm just going to show you and direct you to a video of mine, which is the stages of a bubble cycle, which is basically documenting what happens in a bubble stock. And we can see here we have something similar to this. So, in my opinion, the reason why these stocks have been plummeting so much recently, and to really see this we've got to go to 1 day instead of the 1 month, we can see here more clearly. The reason why these stocks have been plummeting is because of a lot of reasons, especially with the Tesla and the Apple. But my personal reasons for these two ones, and then we're going to move on to the whole market, is simply because one, Tesla and Apple have both just had a stock split, and basically all that's done is put a lot of investors into the market and got them hyped up about claiming profits without actually knowing what risk comes into that. So what that means is basically people who thought they were going to look out from the profits and keep seeing a rise, not knowing what they were doing, saw a massive loss. And when basically smarter investors started to take profits, these people got a bit nervous and sold off as well at a lower price, reducing the price by almost 8% this week. So we did actually talk about these in the stages of the bubble cycle, and this is almost one of the final stages of the cycle. This is where people start to take profits, and then the bubble actually goes ahead and bursts completely, and this is where prices drop if it is a bubble. So we can see here, on the one hand, this could be a bubble because a lot of our favourite technology stocks have been dropping, and that's simply because there's been no reason for them to go up as high as they have. They've gone up like gold, but for no particular reason, and it was bound to happen at some point. So perhaps this isn't necessarily a bubble, but even if it's not, we can just think about this as some investors are taking profits at such high prices, being as prices have actually shot up massively for all technology stocks over the last few months. If we look back to the 1 month, we can see here that's actually the 1 day. So if we look back to the 1 month, we can see stock prices are huge, and they've just been on a mad run for the last few months, and we can see that this is basically going to have a large impact on the prices, and being as they've gone up for no reason, they were bound to come back down at some point. But a lot of people did actually get caught out in these. However, it's important to remember these are actually an important thing for the market, and they need to happen at some points, because if a stock just keeps going up, then it really definitely is a bubble. Whereas here, with a few people jumping out, it allows more people to get in and basically push the price further over time. So it's one thing to think towards a longer period, but with CFDs, for example, it might not be too understandable to do that because you might get stopped out. But if you are investing in these stocks, I would not say sell, because we've got to think long term where these companies are going, and so far they've been doing nothing apart from going to the sky, and that is never a good thing, because if something just goes up, like I said, forever and ever and ever, it is definitely bound to burst at some point. Whereas here we do actually have a chance of recovery with these stocks. So technology stocks have been on the lead of the way down, but a lot of other stocks have actually been going down recently as well, and another reason for that is due to the dollar getting a little bit stronger over recent days. So if we go to our forex, wherever it is, so today it looks like the US dollar is up slightly amongst a few other currencies, which is good for the dollar, but this means that people have a lot more faith in the currency, and that basically dissuades them from investing because they can see the possibility of getting a better return from the bank in the long run. So that's one of the reasons why it might have dropped. But a crucial thing to note is actually Trump has not released any important news really too much, and not really anything important has happened. So this is just a correction in the market that is bound to happen. Now, whether it goes even further down, as it looks like it is for Apple today, and a few other technology stocks, is something else, and whether the bubble is finally bursting is a completely different situation. But if you have faith in this one, good luck to you, and I just hope that you get the best results possible. But I just thought I'd educate you as to some of the reasons why things are going down at the minute. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you then. Click on any of the videos on screen, and I will see you soon.